Virgin Witch is a 1972 erotic horror film from director Ray Austin. In case you're unsure as to what kind of movie this is, it opens with nudity. Just a bunch of shots of all the cast sans underpants. I'm gonna have to be extra careful with this one. Expect lots of poorly framed cropped stills to cover the offending bits. Two sisters, Christine and Betty, are walking through the woods. Maybe they'll run into Monica and Jackie. The girls ran away from home to try to make it in the big city as models. The girls easily hitch a ride to London. Wow, less than 2 minutes in, and already this movie has more hitchhiking than the entirety of Schoolgirl Hitchhikers. Johnny's driving along, and we find out that Christine can see in the dark. Just then, the cameraman decides to give Christine a cervical exam. The girls find an apartment to rent. The next day, the girls go shopping, and so does this guy. Okay, what planet is this taking place? Because it's clearly not Earth. Christine is uncontrollably drawn to an ad from the Wizard of Commercial Photography. She makes an appointment and goes to see the totally legit and not at all shady casting agency. All that's missing is a Bang Brothers watermark. Sybil thinks Christine is too boring, so she changes her name to the much more exotic Christina. She then asks all the important questions.
Are you prepared to do nudes?
Okay, one question. Christina goes to undress to show off the goods. And Tarantino holding the mirror? Damn, she's short.
You are a tiny thing, aren't you?
The agent inspects the merchandise. Just then, the phone rings. It's a last-minute job, but all the models are busy. Seeing the opportunity, Christina begs for the job. Back in the apartment, Johnny and Betty are having some alone time. Ol' C-Blocker comes home and interrupts the love fest. Feeling rejected, Johnny goes home to furiously punch the clown. Christina then puts the whammy on him. Every time she does this, all I can think of is Cupcake Dog. She tells Betty she got a modeling job at a huge house over the weekend, and she's invited. The next day, the girls go to the assignment. Sybil, the agent, takes them there. And this is just a personal anecdote, but every time I see the GB sticker, all I can think of is Gorilla Biscuits. They turn on to Which Road? They meet Peter and Mrs. Crabtree. I mean, Mrs. Wendell. Christina suggests they share a room. I think there might be enough of them for both of you. Tonight's episode.
What about this place? Place is great.
Sybil shows Christina around, and I'm sorry, what is this place called?
It's a strange name, Witch World.
Witch World. It's called Witch World. Sybil tells her all sorts of witch lore and things that witches did here. Christina then expresses her interest in witchery.
Forever into eternity.
Peter the photographer tries to seduce Christina with his bird chest. He takes her for a modeling shoot, and as you can imagine, I can only show you his reactions to what she's doing. Things get a bit dirty.
Take those jeans off.
She's naked on a car, and he ran out of film 3 hours ago. Betty's sunbathing and gets interrupted by Mongo. She runs into the house and finds a secret room. Inside the room is lots of drapes. She finds a small shrine to the devil and gets scared. Although she has every right to be weirded out, especially when stuff like this keeps happening to her. Betty runs into Sybil and is so scared she knocks herself out. She wakes up to see the doctor.
You're a doctor.
No, but I play one on TV. He explains that this is his house. Then he asks all the creepy questions.
You are, I'm quite sure, a virgin.
Yes.
I'm starting to think the 70s wasn't very wholesome. He tells her to take a nice bath that he totally won't be spying on. I knew it! Christina can no longer contain herself around Peter's machismo, and the two give in to sexiness. Sybil's not happy about this, and she interrupts.
Peter?
Coming.
Well, I would have been. Christina is very proud of herself. She then takes a shower because movie. That night at dinner, Christina tells them she knows all about the festival Lammas.
Not Christmas. Lammas.
Yes, we celebrate lovers tonight.
They then admit that they are indeed witches. Although, wouldn't that make him a warlock?
My coven practices white witchcraft only.
White witchcraft? Cancelled. Christina tells them that she wants to become a witch. So oh no. The doctor tells her he knows that she has special powers and can indeed become a witch. Johnny's looking for Betty and tracks her down at the modeling agency. Later that night, oh, it's the NBC mystery movie. Johnny searches and finds the address of the coven. Oh, it's Witch Wold. Back at the coven, we now return to Manos the Hands of Fate, already in progress. Christina is being brought into the coven. Wait a minute. These aren't witches. This is the Nexium cult. Christina is ready to be, witched. Oh, wow. There's a lot to unpack here. The doctor deflowers Christine while she holds 2 black candles, and everyone else in the room gets naked and dances the Macarena to some 70s jazz music. Think I now know why they call this white witchcraft. The next day, Christine wakes up in bed with Sybil. She does the walk of shame back to her room. Johnny to the rescue! Christina goes for a walk with Peter.
Now I'm a witch. Now I can please myself.
You didn't need to become a witch to do that. She then goes to have a talk with Sybil.
The entire advertising industry is witchcraft, darling.
I have no problem believing this. None of the women in this movie own a bra. The doctor tells Christina that he wants to teach her to cast spells.
I want to cast magic missile.
He then suggests bringing Betty into the fold.
I feel we could do a lot for her.
Yeah, I'm sure you could, you old pervert. Christina wants to become the high priestess, but in order to do that, she has to get rid of the current one. So she steals a picture of Sybil and puts a hex on her. Christina then proceeds to convince Betty she needs to be a witch. That night, since Sybil is sick, Christina takes over as high priestess. Oh wait, she's okay. Or not. As I was saying, Christina takes over. They strip Betty and get her ready for the doctor. But instead, Johnny in a demon mask shows up to do the deed. Some guys will do just about anything to get laid. The crowd thinks this is great, so on with the naked dance party. While everyone's all hot and bothered, Johnny takes Betty away. Okay, so they really didn't have sex naked in the middle of a bunch of witches.
Was it?
It never happened.
However, 5 feet away in the woods, well, it's game time! This isn't what you think. She just stubbed her toe. Christina stabs the dirt, which makes Sybil roll down a hill. Christina now has the ultimate power over the coven. The end. I'm starting to think this whole movie was just an excuse to see how often they could get the 2 sisters naked. Virgin Witch was shot mostly in the Manor House in Adams Walk, Mill Lane, Pilbright, Surrey, England. The building was also used as a main location for the 1976 film Satan's Slave and the 1978 film Terror. It was filmed during the summer of 1970, but not released until the summer of 1972. The alternate title of the film was Lesbian Twins, which makes little sense because the only lesbian in the movie was the agent Sybil. The movie was made for 2 reasons: nudity and the occult. In the early 1970s, there was a pop culture fascination with the occult, and mixed with some recently relaxed censorship codes, they were able to squeeze in copious amounts of skin. Although even with the relaxed codes, the film initially received an X rating, which delayed its release from 1971 to 1972. The sisters in the film were played by real-life sisters, Anne and Vicky Michelle. This was the first feature for both of them. While Anne continued to do movies in a similar vein to this, like House of Whipcord and Marquis de Sade's Justine, Vicky moved more towards TV, which led to her gaining worldwide attention in the British series Hello, Hello. Both women have since disowned Virgin Witch, saying they were both coerced by the director to do more nude scenes than what they had originally signed on for. This was an early film in the career of director Ray Austin. He started directing in 1978 with TV shows like The Avengers and The Saint, until moving on to his first movie, 1,000 Convicts and a Woman, followed by Virgin Witch. He mostly directed TV after that, with a large amount of American shows like Wonder Woman, The Fall Guy, and Highlander. Virgin Witch is a naughty film. It channels the vibe of Gene Roland, but it's unbelievably more crude. with them using just about any excuse to get the two leads naked, and then everyone else naked. It also lacked Roland's particular flair. Love 'em or hate 'em, Roland's vampire films all have this lush, dreamlike quality. Virgin Witch is shot competently, but it pretty much feels like any 70s exploitation film. It lacks that special pizzazz that helps it stand out. Yes, while having two beautiful sisters in various stages of undress makes it easy to watch, it doesn't magically make it into a better movie. It's just more enjoyable. Virgin Witch is a unique experience. It's not as blatantly softcore as more recent films like Bikini Frankenstein, but it has roughly the same equivalent of undressing. It's one of the trashiest exploitation horror films out there, and that's saying a lot considering how much competition it has. If you've ever wanted to see what happens when two mini-skirted birds go to a remote castle run by a lesbian witch that frequently organizes orgies, for the love of God, put your pants back on.
Oh, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It's a bit old, isn't it? Of course it is, you silly bitch. It's antique.